After all of the drama with the surgery being announced, and now there's two more drama things. The Sixers and Joel Embiid explored radical options for his left knee, including treatments that would have kept him sidelined into next season. See, this bothers me, man. Joel Embiid really over the last month and a half met with tons of doctors, specialists, tons of doctors. Okay, Shams, tons of doctors. That's at least 4,000 doctors. If you're doing multiples of tons, that's Joel Embiid met with 4,000 plus doctors. That's why we went from the Sixers saying we met with more than half a dozen, which is just a fancy way of saying 6. So we went from more than half a dozen to tons of doctors. Anyway, specialists trying to figure out exactly where this goes. They looked at some radical options for that knee that included options that would have sidelined him for next season too. See, how are they making these decisions? He's gonna be he's 31 years old. He's had, this will be his third surgery on this left knee. He knows damn well he doesn't have many years left in the NBA. If they want, like, dude, here's what I think happened. If they're looking at two different options, and like, remember we were talking about there was an option where they take a piece of bone out of the hip to try to strengthen the knee joint, which sounds insane, or a meniscus transplant, which is even maybe more insane, to try to get a meniscus donor and an actual transplant. And that probably wouldn't work either. That would probably leave him with, he'd probably be out for 2 whole seasons and then try to come back when he's 33 years old and still have knee swelling. So they go with the shorter, less extreme. What's the word that he used, man? Less radical. He said there was more radical options. I'm assuming that's the hip thing or the meniscus transplant. Those are the radical options. They said no to that. They go with the arthroscopic surgery where they're just going to go in and try to clean up. This is what the doctor said yesterday. They're going to try to clean up the stuff that's going on there, which isn't going to fix anything. So basically there were no options. There was either we try to do something to try to get the knee swelling down, but we're not actually fixing the actual issue because there is no fix for it, right? Or you try more radical options, which would leave him out for longer period of time, maybe next whole season, and then he's still not 100%. I think they're coming to this whole decision and conclusion because they know there is no 100% anymore. There just is not. We've been over all of the options now. All of the options do not end up with Joel Embiid being 100%. So they basically said, we don't know. There's no real solution. You do the arthroscopic thing. Hopefully there's a way that they can, get some stuff out of there if there's damaged tissue or whatever that's causing swelling, and cross your fingers. But there's no solution. So what do you do? I agree with what somebody said yesterday. Your best option is to hopefully this arthroscopic surgery brings the swelling down. He's able to play the beginning of next season, and then you trade him at the deadline. I think that's, you can't sit on this. You can't sit on the dude. He has 4 years left on the contracts. He still has this upcoming season on his original contract, and then the 3-year extension. The 3-year extension has not started. 3-year extension begins after next season. How crazy is that? Also this from Shams again. Tension between Joel Embiid and the Sixers front office has become something to keep in mind this offseason after the team and Embiid had different views on treating his left knee. One thing as well to keep in mind here going into the offseason, there was some tension between Joel Embiid and that front office from my understanding. The team believed he needed to play at some point. He felt like he needed surgery. And this is where Joel Embiid apparently went straight to ownership and said, I can't play. I need surgery. I have knee swelling and pain and I can't play. But according to all the rumors and reports, it seems like the Sixers, I mean, if he went straight to ownership, then that means Josh Harris wasn't involved in making these decisions. That means Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, and whoever else is in there, Nick Nurse and these guys, were involved in making these decisions. And he said, you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm in pain. I have swelling. I can't play. I'm going to the ownership. I'm going to tell mom. You know what I mean? You guys are being mean. I'm telling mom. So he goes straight to ownership. Part of this, I kind of want to blame some of this on Nick Nurse, man. Do you guys remember Nick Nurse's first season here, right when he was hired? He had a quote in his opening press conference. They were talking about how many games per season do you think Joel Embiid is going to play? And he flat out said, I want him to play more games. And everybody was like, he was like, what? I want him to play more games. I want him to play as many games as he can possibly play. And they were like, what about load management? What about rest and recovery? Joel Embiid couldn't possibly play the whole season. And he had Joel Embiid playing back-to-backs. He had him playing almost damn near every game. He was on another MVP level run. And boom, torn meniscus. So, dude, the way that Nick Nurse coaches the game and the way that he looks at things like this, I wouldn't be shocked if Nick Nurse was in here saying, hey, guys, he just needs to play through it. He just needs to be on the court. Get him on the court, and he's just out of shape. Get him on the court. He's just out of shape, and he'll just play into shape, and he'll be fine. And Joel's like, it hurts. I can't do it. And they were like, you're just out of shape. You need to play into shape. He's like, no, I have knee swelling. It hurts. And they were like, no, you need to play. And he was like, fuck you guys. I'm going to Josh. And he went straight to ownership and said, they're trying to force me to play. I can't play. I need surgery. He's told ESPN he needs surgery. Apparently, he had a conversation with Doc Rivers on the sideline during a Bucks game. And he told Doc he's probably going to get surgery after this season. Joel was saying this the whole season. The Sixers were ignoring it. What a disaster, bro. And now it begs the question, with Joel Embiid knowing that he doesn't have many years left to play in the NBA, could he be like, you know what, man, I'm going to try to get out of here? Could Joel Embiid be like, you know what, I'm going to try to get out of here? I don't see myself playing in the NBA past 35. I don't see myself playing in the NBA more than 4 more seasons. I've been here for 9 years. I've given everything I could to this team. Did we win? No. Do people call me lazy? Do people question my leadership and all this stuff? Yes. I've been injured. Yes. Me personally, I feel like Joel has given everything he possibly had to this organization. Is he the most injury-prone superstar we've ever seen? Probably. Is that his fault? I don't know. People say he's injury-prone because he's out of shape. He broke his foot in Kansas, in college, at 245. People say, I just saw another Marcus Morris on ESPN said he needs to lose weight and that's why he's so injury-prone. He was 245 and shredded in college and broke his foot. He's just injury prone. And it sucks. But I think he's tried his best. People, he's lazy and all. He's 7'2", 260, 70, 80. Yeah, should he be around 250? Probably. But again, in the best shape of his life in college at 245, he broke his foot. I think he's given it all he's had. He's just injury prone and it sucks. But I think, it could get to the point where he's like, I've tried my best with this organization. We didn't win. And I'm going to try my luck somewhere else. Maybe. Richie MC says he's not a Sixers Hall of Famer. Richie, let me ask you a question, man. Is Charles Barkley a Sixers Hall of Famer? Charles Barkley has what to show for his Sixers Hall of Fame? I don't know if there even is a technical Sixers Hall of Fame, but Charles Barkley never won a championship with the Sixers. Charles Barkley has a league MVP. I don't even know if he won that when he was in Philly. I think he won it when he was in Phoenix. Joel Embiid has an MVP. He led the league in scoring twice. And he's the most skilled big man I've ever seen. Wilt Chamberlain did that well. Wilt Chamberlain is quite obviously a Hall of Famer, is he not? Wilt Chamberlain's a myth anyway, man. He didn't even really exist. I'm just kidding. I have an article right here written by the Liberty Line, and this is written by Drew Smith. And Drew Smith is a good dude, and he's funny, and I love the way that he writes things. And here's what he says. This is titled, Disgusting Behavior. Joel Embiid and the Sixers had tension over knee injury. Organization basically told him to walk it off. If you were looking for a neat, drama-free ending to the Sixers season, look somewhere else, like literally anywhere else, maybe a car fire or American politics, because now we're bringing the obvious medical mistrust to the forefront of the problems with Philadelphia basketball. There's tension between Joel Embiid and the Sixers front office. Team believed he needed to play at some points of this season. He felt like he needed surgery. He ends up getting the surgery. So just to be clear, Embiid says the knee is cooked. Sixers say play your way into shape. Embiid gets surgery anyway. Everyone acts shocked when this backfires. If you've been reading the Liberty Line and my Sixers coverage, then you already know how I feel about the situation. The entire thing has been a complete shit show since last summer. I'm not surprised at all. The organization was in full panic mode and scrambling for an easy fix to Embiid's knee injury. The entire organization has been and continues to be a complete joke when handling any type of injuries, and now Shams is out here dropping a bomb on something that anyone who's been paying attention since the process already knew. This is a blatant organizational red flag. The Sixers once again handled their franchise cornerstone, worldwide superstar, and former NBA MVP like a disposable rental car, hoping for the best and ignoring the check engine light until it bursts into flames. Disposable rental car doesn't really make any sense. You have to return a rental car. He should have said like a beater, like a beater car that you can run and just light it on fire, run it down a hill, not worry about it. But anyway, disposable rental car. Should have let me proofread this. Everyone involved should be fired immediately. Let's not pretend this is the first time something like this popped up. The Sixers have a long storied tradition of being absolutely awful at managing player injuries. What happens now? Who knows at this point? Tank their way to a top 5 lottery pick. Joel Embiid's 30 years old. The clock isn't just ticking, it's screaming. If there's even a sliver of mistrust between the franchise and its only MVP since Allen Iverson, that's the real problem. Well, they wasted Allen Iverson's career. They wasted Joel Embiid's career. The Sixers front office probably thinks this will blow over, but if the plan was to tell Joel to walk it off while his meniscus was hanging on by a thread, maybe they should stop asking. He only played 19 games this year. Well, Drew, that's not really true. His meniscus is not hanging on by a thread. He had meniscus surgery last season. He has knee swelling as a result of the meniscus surgery. I don't fucking know, dude. Does he? What? I don't get it. What if another surgery doesn't work? If the other surgery didn't work? Love Embiid, don't want to see him go, but it's the best for the future of this team. But with the Sixers' luck, they'll trade him and he'll have one healthy. Yo! We sat on Tobias Harris for 6 years. We let him go, and now he's part of the Detroit Pistons, who are having a pretty good year and on the come up. We traded James Harden, and he got back into shape and is playing pretty well with the Clippers, even though they're not winning anything. But it would be very Sixers if we trade Joel Embiid and he goes and has a healthy season with a contender and wins a championship. Just unbelievable. And the last thing with the 76ers is this insane piece of information right here. The 76ers ruled Tyrese Maxey out for this season a couple days ago with a finger tendon injury, which there's some reactions on the internet to that saying like, everybody's injured. This team has the worst injury bug in the world. Tyrese Maxey's not injured. He hurt his finger in a game. We saw when it happened. He came back in that game. And they've been using that as an excuse to hold him out because this season is done and we are on a tankathon. We are in the middle of a tank off. But anyway, the Sixers officially rule him out for the season. Nick Nurse says, in light of report that Maxey is done for the year, he has not been informed that that is the case yet. As far as he's aware, Tyrese Maxey is out for this evening. What? How is it even possible that an organization, that the team, that the front office can make an announcement on a player being out for the season and nobody told the coach?